Hey, Matt here for M3. This has to do with the fitness challenge, and I wanted to get this up as quickly as possible because for New Year's, we took off to the coast and we were away, and I actually did a Zoom and I didn't record it. It was about almost all the way at the end that my wife was there with me, and she said, you didn't hit the record button. So first off, thank you so much for waiting for this. You're probably wondering what's going on out there. Like, this challenge was starting. The point of the challenge, I want to let you know right now when you're watching this, and I hope everybody watches this, because the point of the challenge is this week of it is to just discover what it is that you really like. We're not actually going out there and following this regimented challenge. You're going to go out there and discover this week, what are the things that I really want to do in terms of activity? And then I give you some meal plans, recipes to go along with that. If you want to follow those, then it's time to start playing with those. It's time to start grocery shopping for those and doing those recipes, and then looking at the meal plans, how those recipes play into the meal plan and things like that. And then also, again, this program is not designed for you to follow some regimented thing. It's designed for you to figure out why you do what you do. That's why we're going through this 40-day period. It's a 6-week period. Why do I take the actions that I take versus not take the actions that I want to take, or whatever the case is? Getting into your mind so that you understand what's driving you, and then you can take it and you can change it to make it, what you want it to be. You can start taking action that you want because you can start to learn how to think and feel something new. So on the flip side of that is that if you don't want to follow my meal plans, then decide, what's calling to you. Decide what things are, what have you wanted to try? What have you heard about? Have you heard about fasting? Have you heard about, of course, there's always low fat, low carb approaches. There's paleo, there's whatever's calling to you. You're not going to know about that stuff by reading about it or hearing about other people doing it. You're going to know about it by you doing it. So you really want to pick what's calling to you. And if my meal plans are calling to you too, by all means, then grab them. But start playing with that stuff this week, because next week, it's Monday, January 10th, is when we really get underway. That's day one, Monday, January 10th of our 40 days. And so I'm going to walk you through that stuff right now, what we're doing and why we're doing it, what we're doing with a little screen share here. And here it is. So Fit Forever in 40 Days Challenge, quick rundown. Like what we did on Friday, the live, there's going to be a meeting this Friday too, to rehash this stuff, to talk about whatever is coming up for you as a challenge. As a group, we're kind and loving and supportive. There are no dumb questions. There's just you taking action toward what you want. And that's the base for what this challenge is. This challenge will get you phenomenal results, but it really isn't about the results. It's about you taking action. I'm going to tell you more about that. I want to reward you for taking action. And at the end of this, if you do what it is that I tell you to do, you take all the action. I don't care about the results that you get, although it'd be nice to share that stuff so that we can inspire others. I'm going to reward you at the end of it with the gift, and I'll tell you more about this. So the question is, why do we do this? Why go for this? Well, first off, if you've ever been tired of setting the same goal every year, it's 2022 now, and you set that goal, and you never set that goal from the point of view that, like, oh, I kind of meant it and whatever. And we tell ourselves that later, but really when you set the goal, you feel it in your heart and you really want it. So if mid-February you're done with it and then you finish the rest of the year not doing your goal, that's really the thing. That's why you want to be doing this challenge with us, because there's a reason why you're doing it. And it's not because you don't want it bad enough. It's because you don't understand your mind. So if you're tired of setting goals that don't stick and you actually want to set one so that you can look up, it's going to be December 2022. Before you know it, that stuff passes really quickly, but you got the results that you wanted and you figured it out. Like, you actually solved it in your mind, why I took the action regularly so that I could get the results. You're going to be able to take this stuff over to anything in your life, but we're doing it in fitness right now because it's just a natural place for us to do it. And it's something that I'm needing too. So I'm going through this challenge with you as I do it, as I get back to my roots and I do this, and I'm walking with you and sharing just absolutely transparently with, so that you can get all the stuff that you need to never have to set goals that don't stick. Again, you can set them and understand yourself. So you're tired of wasting money and time only to create more disappointment and frustration. The biggest things that people purchase Christmas and then New Year's is all the fitness gadgets and the newest, latest trends. You just want to be done with that. You really don't want to be buying stuff just to see it sit in the corner. That becomes a nagging thing for us, like, oh, there's that thing I said I was going to do it. So if you're tired of doing that, you don't need to buy anything to do this. This fitness challenge is absolutely free. And in order to be as fit and healthy as you want in your life, you actually don't need to buy anything to you. Have everything inside of you and you have all the capability. And the knowledge is just a matter of searching and hanging out with us. We're going to share a ton of stuff with you about what we know about fitness. And then we're also going to refer you. If you need something special, anything that I have or anybody in the group, we're going to refer as much as we can, or even go research it for you, because we care about each other in M3 that way. But you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We've heard that before, but really it's coming down to that. We're getting older and we're tired of hearing about the world and what's going on, and that we should be fearful about being this sick. It's too much, and the only answers are is to stay home and don't do anything. That's not it. We want to take control of our health. We really do. Not from a doctor standpoint, we want to take responsibility for that. And if you feel like your energy is going down and you're worried maybe a little bit about what's going on out there in the world, well, let's take that back. Because the greatest defense against this thing that we face is to be absolutely healthy and fit and take responsibility for creating that in your life. And because you're ready to open your mind to learn about you. This challenge isn't about learning about a specific meal plan. As I said, it's not learning about specific workouts. It's about learning about you. You are unique. And I want you to understand that as you go through this. Is just because somebody says eat a particular thing in order to get a result, you must take responsibility for you. How does that make you feel? What kind of results do you get? Because you're the only unique version of you that there ever will be. And if you discount that, if you disregard that, you don't want to create a path to success that's doing that, because it's not going to be something that you like. The path is more important than the destination. And you want to take responsibility in that path of eating the foods that you like, that really resonate with you, that give you tons of energy. But it's like you've got to love those foods too. They have to taste good for you and they give you what you want. Rice, for example, may bloat some people and they can't digest it well. If that's you, then don't do rice. Learn how to do something else. That's what we're here for. We're here to teach you how to substitute things that are going to work. All things have good and bad in them, and you're really going to find that when you take that responsibility with this. What's working for me? Exercise too. I don't like this type of exercise. Cool. That's a great thing to discover. We're going to find that. We're going to find the exercise that you like, because when you love it, you're not going to have to work for it anymore. It's going to be something that you're always going to be stealing away to do, so you can get those results. And you're ready to take full responsibility. I just hit on that right there. You take responsibility for the things that have happened in the past and the things that are moving forward in your future. And you do that because if you give that responsibility away, that you say, well, this thing happens, and I was just talking about this right now. We're going to go through a full kitchen remodel during this time. So cooking and meal prep, it's a big challenge in itself. And during this time going through this, I'm going to be having a kitchen that's going to be upside down. I'm thankful for the remodel, but we're not going to have anywhere to cook. We're going to have to come up with some kind of ideas, but I'm not letting it stop me. I'm choosing to find something new, and that's responsibility. I'm not saying and giving it away and say, well, it's not a good time, I can't do this. Those are all excuses. You can have your excuses or you can have your results, but you can't have both. So it's time to take full responsibility, and that's why you're wanting to do this challenge. I'm going to figure out a way is what you need to be thinking. What is the way? Post it in the group with what we're doing. Share it. You're going to get to coach with me every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're hopping on a Zoom just to face these individual issues. Say, what are we going through? Okay, here's some solutions, and here's some thinking solutions. We're going to get great things here. So these are all the reasons why you want to do this stuff. And what is our main focus? Well, our main focus is going to be you. That's it. The focus around you taking action. And if you're not taking action in what it is that you said that you wanted to do, to just dive into that, really dive into that and find out, what am I thinking and feeling that's making me do a particular thing? That's what does it. It's not the thing outside of us in our world that said, oh, this thing showed up or whatever. We've all got time. We've got 24 hours in a day. Every single one of us does. We have different responsibilities, but it's a matter of prioritizing this action that you want to take. And it's going to be a challenge for you if you've not done it in the past, because you have other habits that are in place there. You're going to have to take it up and put it front and center, and understand that it's going to feel a little uncomfortable at first. It always feels uncomfortable before it becomes your natural state. But once it becomes your natural state, this taking action, regular action that's going to get you the results that you want, then it becomes automatic and easy. That's the real beauty of it. So we're really focused on you and taking action, unlearning the stuff that stopped us from succeeding. Programming, like, it has to be a grind. If you think health and fitness has to be a grind, you're setting up a big obstacle in front of yourself. It doesn't. What it has to be is something that you love. Either you figure out how to love something, or you find something that you know that you love already, but it must be something other than a grind. So we're going to have to learn about unlearning the things that we learned in the past. So we get to be adults. We think that everything has to be hard work and a grind, and that's something that we're proud of. But you don't be proud of that stuff. When it's natural, it's not about the work that you're doing. It's about the vision that you're involved with, that you're in love with, finding something that you're in love with. So taking responsibility and finding what you really love, both exercise and food, full on. You've got to do that front and center here now. We are not advocates of any particular form of exercise or meal planning. We share what we share because it's effective for us. But there's nothing I love more than to hear people say that, hey, I don't like your type of exercise. I say, that's great. Good. You found that out. Find what it is that you like. Let's talk about that. I know lots of different other forms of exercise, or I've been exposed to them. And we're all so happy to share that so that you can find yours. So make you a priority again. We got older and we said, I'm not a priority in my life. Everything else took over as a priority. When I was younger, fitness was easy for me because I didn't have so many responsibilities. Somewhere along the lines of doing what we do in this life, the way people tell us to do it, we start to put ourselves on the back burner more and more and more. But we realize what a defeating thing that is, because if you don't take care of you, there's going to come a time when you can't help anybody else. So you must make yourself a priority. You must start to give yourself permission to do that stuff again. Understanding now that this is not a selfish thing. This is a loving thing. By taking care of you, you're going to be healthy and energetic with the ones that you love. You're going to be here longer, and you're going to be able to help them more. So make yourself a priority and keep learning and working on that. That's what it's about, giving yourself permission. Discover what really controls the actions that we take, and that's our mind. We're going to do that. I want you to open up to that. Open your heart up to this and share what you're going through. Don't be ashamed of that. Shame keeps you stuck off to the side, by yourself, thinking that something's wrong with you. And because you think that, that's what shows up. But chances are, all the time it's this way. The thing that you have to share, it's so familiar to everybody else. And when you open and transparently share that stuff, you're going to find so many people like, oh my gosh, me too, I go through that. So really discovering those things in your mind is, you've got to open up and be vulnerable. That's the key behind M3, Mind, Move, Manifest, the group. And what we're doing here is that it's just a place for you to be you and just deal with it. Find out what it is. No need for you to be nervous or scared about just sharing what you're authentically going through, and then finding your way past that. That's the key to the happy life that we want to create here. So discovering what really controls the actions that you take, your mind, and learning how to use our minds to create the habits that get the results that we want. You got to be ready for these things, because this is going to be the main focus of what we're doing here. And you're going to find it's so powerful. You're never going to have to take on another fitness plan and wonder if it's going to work for you again if you dive into this 6 weeks, you're going to be blown away at what you find out about you, the self-sufficient person that you find in you to find your way and do this every time. Not only fitness, you're going to be able to use it in all kinds, in every area of your life, because we're working with universal truth. So the actual challenge starts January 10th. This is what I actually want to do here. Is I want to share with you that if you are in the challenge already and you're seeing this, I think we've got like 15 people opted in right now. It's time to go to the group and do a post. And in that post, you want to tag somebody. Just find somebody. If it's somebody that you know already in the group, they don't have to be in the challenge, but you want to tag them and let them know. It's like going to be your individual thread And that's cool for everybody to see it too, of you saying you're going to do what it is that you're going to do. Like I'm going to exercise 2 times per week, weight training. And then I'm going to follow Matt's meal plans. Like you post something like that and then tag in the comments or whatever, however you do it. I'm not super social media savvy, but I think it's in the comments. You just throw the person's name down there and they're going to account you on that, because every day that you do that, you're just going to say, boom, like I did that. And hopefully that person will be able to hold you accountable. It's really cool if you can get somebody within the group that's actually doing the challenge too, because you can go back and forth too, but it doesn't have to be that way. I'm going to go in there just right now and I'm going to tag Jeff Whitworth, my accountability partner, and let him know what exactly I'm going to do. I'm going to exercise with strength training 4 times per week, and I'm just going to map that out there. I'm going to say it, and that's going to be our thread. And I think what he's going to do is on the other side, do the same thing. But this is something that you want to do too. Don't be shy. If you tag somebody and they say, I don't want to, who cares? Pick somebody else. That's okay. Don't worry about that stuff. Don't let any type of rejection or any stuff like that slow you down. You want what you want. You want it all for good reason. So just keep going. It's what we're about at M3. Just keep taking the action. Forget the rest of the stuff. Why are we starting a week late? I just covered some of that. Is because this week, this first week of January, we really want to be messing around with our stuff. We want to be trying our meal plans out. We want to be shopping and cooking. And then we want to be trying our exercise plans out too. So we're messing around for a week before we're ready to dive in full bore and give it that 100% for 6 weeks. So you can decide what you want to do and play around with it for a week. I just said that before getting fully committed. If you want to start early, by all means, then go for it. Go for it. Absolutely. No holdback on that. One and only time with me, Fridays at noon. This is the one commitment that you have. You don't have to attend these if your time doesn't permit you, but you need to go back if you're going to be in this challenge and you actually want to win the prize that's at the end that I'm offering up to you. Is that you need to watch this recording. I'm putting this up as a recording right now. So when I do these, there's going to be a recording. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw a secret word in there. I know what that secret word is. It might be 10 minutes in, 2 minutes in, it might be 20 minutes in. And I'm just going to throw the word out there. And the fact that you watched it, you're going to put that on your accountability sheet, which I'm going to share with you here in a minute. But there will be a recording of this. You can watch it in the group and you can comment on it. You can ask questions. It is necessary to win what I'm giving away. And I'm giving away something very special and powerful for whatever you're wanting to do in 2022. So how to win. This is it. Attend or watch all meetings and then put the secret word in. You're going to put this on an accountability sheet that I'm about to show you. Turn in that accountability sheet. Post in M3 private group that you are doing challenge and how many times per week you will be exercising and what meal plan you will follow, i.e. that is MATs or low carb or macros. So again, I just covered that right now. This is something that you're going to want to do, and you're going to want to post once per week in there at least. But if you're tagging somebody, you're going to post that too, so you're going to be doing quite a few, hey, exercise today. Today was my exercise day. I planned on exercising Tuesdays and Fridays, you got to come in there and send it. And by the way, if you didn't exercise, you got to post that too. Don't feel bad about it. Just send it up there because it puts it on the table and we can talk about it. Like, how did today go? How can we make today better? That's the point of it. So that day doesn't keep happening to you so that you're not exercising. That's the key. It's not about feeling bad and say, what's up with you, loser? Why didn't you exercise? That stuff is worthless. That's what gets people's shame and makes them want to run away from that. So don't be afraid of posting that stuff too. Didn't exercise today, was supposed to. But this is what you want to do. You want to post in the private group what you're going to do and then get that accountability thread running with your partner. Answer questions and share with me why was change. Oh, this is what this is. And you're going to see this on this accountability sheet that I'm about to share. So you want to answer these questions and share with me. Why was changing your health and fitness so important to you? At the end of the challenge, if you want to win this thing, the prize that I'm giving away, you got to answer this. Why was it so important to you? And what did you learn? You want to share your results physically. Loss of inches at hips and abdomen. Those two measurements are really close to each other, right at your hip crease. And then the other one is just right at your belly button. And then your loss of pounds. And notice that I didn't say start measurements and stop measurements. I just said total loss. That's what I'm really talking about here. You can share with me your start and stops if you want, but total losses is that we want to share. And it might not be your goal that you want to go for a loss too. You might have a different goal, and that's fine. If you're looking to get stronger and you can't do, squats, and you're able to do 20 squats or something by the end of this thing, or pull-ups or whatever it may be, that's a fine goal too. But these do need to be shared with me at the end. And then if you really want to win, it's going to be something that we're going to do is before and after pics, what you actually see. Now, if you have no plan on sharing a picture of you, please don't make that decision right here, right now. Take the picture, let it live on your phone, because you have no idea how this challenge is going to go and what's going to happen inside of you and outside of you in your body. You might make such phenomenal results that you would wish like mad that you could go back and take that picture. So what I'm telling you is take the picture now. You don't have to share it now, but in order to win at the end, yes, we're going to need a before and after pic. So that's fine. And if you remember, if you're doing this you're winning just by doing this. I'm giving a great prize away at the end for the people that comply with all this part too. But still, you're going to get phenomenal results if you don't want to do that. So give yourself the best opportunity for success, period. You want your health and fitness. Of course, you're going to want the prize too, but take your before picture. Don't tell yourself a story about why you can't. I said, before you get all nervous, you're not required to share this to participate, only to win. So I think that was it. Take this week to play at the exercise you choose. Today is Tuesday, example, in the book, and to play with your meal plan. Take this week to play at the exercise you choose. If you're choosing to do the exercises that came in my book that I gave you for this challenge, you can mess with those. The example in the book is why I wrote that there. I have some really cool stuff. I have a major day and a minor day where we're activating as much muscle as we can. And we do it through a bit of strength training, but we also do it in the form of a circuit, so you get your cardiovascular in there. It's a great way to burn fat, but really a great way to stimulate a lot of muscle too. So it's just something that I created after years of working with people. It was the most effective overall program that I could put together, and it's in the book. So you can play with that too if you're going to do that. But if you're choosing to do something different, play with the exercise that you're going to play with. Next week, we have a meeting on Friday. That's not next week, actually, this recording, that's this week. This is Tuesday. So we have Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're going to meet on Friday at noon. And we're going to address any further questions that you have about this. I'm going to be there for you, and I'm going to give you all the advice that I can. So share any challenges that you ran into this week, if it's shopping, if it's dishes, if it's whatever that you're facing, and we're all going to come together and we're going to share ways to overcome that so that you can get what it is that you want. And I think that that really is it. I think I shared everything with you. So you know now what it is that's required of you to do this challenge. It really isn't something that's so strict and crazy and it's going to flip your life upside down. It's more what it is. It's about creating a path that works for you, a path that you love, and a path that fits into your life, and creating all the health and fitness that you want. You're only limited by what you think. So if you think that you're limited in your world, the health and fitness that you can get, then you're going to get that result. But if you start to open your mind up to realize that it doesn't require huge time commitments, and it doesn't require, whatever horrible tasting food, whatever thing you're creating in your mind, let that go and understand on this journey what you're going to find is the answers that you've been looking for. You're going to find a lot from this challenge. That's what you're going to discover. This is a quote. Understand this. Just hit me one day. People spend their whole life running from, avoiding, and trying to escape from the life they've built. And we do. We build our mind, our life in our mind. We really, really do. We're accepting limitations about ourselves. We're accepting problems because we get emotionally involved with them, and then we don't want them and we run from them. We don't even know that we're doing it. So people spend their whole life running from, they're trying to escape from a life that they've built because they didn't know. And they didn't know that they could have been building a life that they wanted and running toward that instead. My greatest advice to you with this is to picture your ultimate health and fitness that you really want, the energy that you want, the interactions that you have socially with people, what it feels like, your family, all of it. When you wake up in the morning, when you take a shower, what do you feel in those moments? And if you can feel that, you're going to be running toward that instead. Anytime something pops up in your mind about why it's not possible for you or why this is too hard, anything like that, don't build that, because that's the life that you're going to be trying to run from. And you're not going to want to do that because you can't escape the thing. It's in you. All you got to do is just let it go and turn your attention toward that beautiful picture of health and fitness for you. And this is Matt here for M3. I'm going to share this recording in the group. All of you, I'm going to tag and say, watch it so that you know and understand. And I'd like for, if you haven't joined the challenge, it's not too late. Scroll down, find it, hop in there. It's never too late. And that's it. That's it. Oh, here's the thing. Complete all these things with this challenge, and I will give you a free coaching with me. Anything that you want to pursue or go after in your life, it's a $2,500 value. It's my personal coaching. A lot of people come in and say, well, I can't afford to do that. And that was part of this. If you wanted to go through a 6-week period where you could actually work to do that, I will take you through that for free. Any goal that you put front and center, it's a program I created called M3 Your Dream, where we take whatever dream that you have and we really show you how to place that dream in your mind, which in the place that we call our heart, so that your answers can start showing up for you on how to get that, and then taking those actions, finding those actions and taking them. And I have got phenomenal results from people going through this program, and I want to share it with you for free. As I said, it's a $2,500 program. By going through this, this is what you can win. And it doesn't matter what it is that you tell me that you want to do. I'm going to work diligently with you as your coach to walk you through that program. That's the prize. So Matt here for M3. I hope this serves you. I hope you dive in with all your heart. Share it with your friends, because we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a ton about ourselves, and we're actually going to go out there and get the results that you've been wanting probably for your whole life.